are a wonderful audience, and I'm going to bring out your first comic. Please welcome up Deb Morse.
Do you ever have that feeling that there's something you've forgotten? Show of hands, how many of you are married or have been married? I suffer from that addiction too. I'm married to a man from a different culture. I'm Canadian and my husband is an Englishman. He grew up believing a man's home is his castle. After 21 years of marriage, we still haven't figured out who wears the pants in the family. I am bipolar. When I was little, I went to Sunday school to learn about God. Secretly, I had my doubts, until I snorted coke, went manic, and knew I was God. I've been through a lot of weird stuff. When I was 15, I joined a religious cult in Toronto. And when I went out with this guy, I came home late, and my roommate kicked me out. She believed I was possessed by demons. She was right. I was possessed by hormones. Around that time, I met a hypnotist who was grooming me to be a witch and a stripper at the same time. So, instead of a pole, I use a broom. And then I'd make my clothes magically disappear without taking them off. I've done some strange things when I was manic. Once I sat down and had a conversation with a complete stranger. I thought he was my long-lost brother. I must have been really out of it. Not a lot of environmental activists would admit that their brother is Ronald McDonald. At one point, I cut off all my hair because I believed I was a witch and needed to be purged from a spell. Then I realized, I'm not a witch. I'm Britney Spears. Not that there is much difference. The doctors say I'm borderline bipolar, meaning that I only get triggered by drugs, lack of sleep, and when my husband forgets to take out the recycling. One psychiatrist said that I didn't fit the usual description of bipolar in the DSM-4. He said there should be a third category. Yeah, tripolar. I have post-traumatic stress disorder, and I had a major car accident 5 years ago, and it made my PTSD really worse. So I had trouble shopping at Walmart, not because of the accident or the PTSD, but because it's such an exploitive, corrupt, evil, toxic organization. Sometimes paranoia is a good thing. I used to go out with this really cool guy. He was sweet, charming, charismatic, just your average psychopath. Really, he was very romantic. On my birthday, he brought me almost a dozen red roses, still attached to the bush. But it wasn't his fault. He had a glue sniffing addiction, and he said he needed a reason to quit, and told me I was it. Let's just say I was really stuck on him. It took weeks to get the thorns out of my butt. I guess I missed the warning signs. Last time I date a guy whose pickup line is, "Do you want to come back to my place and see my model airplane collection?" I organize an annual sustainability expo and need to make a good impression. I didn't like it when my friends said I was going corporate and sucking up to the sponsors. So I permanently tattooed their logos on my backside. Now who's kissing whose? And sorry, I'm not going to bend over. There's some things I won't do for money. I did make sure, though, to use soya-based ink and no animal testing. I hate to admit this. I'm like a lot of women. I'm addicted to dieting. For a long time now, I've been trying to get back to my original weight, 7 pounds, 2 ounces.